So the slaughter in Gaza continues, and it feels like whenever I think it can't get any worse than it already is, it gets worse. Well, I don't know if it's worse. It just they're saying the quiet parts out loud. So a new report from Haaretz is a Israeli news publication, and they're saying that IDF soldiers are basically telling them that they're ordered, like as a matter of policy, to shoot unarmed people that are seeking aid. Other massacres have, and I can't remember the name of the last massacre that did this, but what they did is they starved the population and then had you come for food because you want to feed your children, because people are watching their children literally waste away. Some of these kids look like they're from Auschwitz, like they're from a German concentration camp. And it's disgusting. It's disgusting to see that. And it's even more disgusting knowing that my government and the rest of the white majority countries out there are just okay with this. They're not stopping it. They're sending weapons. UK is sending weapons. US is sending weapons. Pretty sure Canada's sending weapons. And it's disgusting. Germany is sending weapons and money. We're sending money as well. I don't know if the UK is also sending money, but they probably are. I mean, you're using the RAF as surveillance over the area. So we already know that. And the RAF is the Royal Air Force in England. If you've seen Squid Games, right? Remember the game Red Light, Green Light?
Green light. Red light. Player 324 eliminated.
Dumbass got caught.
Well, basically, this is the version. Israelis are I'm not saying Israelis as a whole, because I don't mean the people. I mean the people then in the IDF. So, yes, I know a good amount of people that are in the IDF or in Israel are in the IDF. However, not everyone in Israel is okay with this. I do know that. There's some pretty significant voices coming out of Israel, like Gideon Levy.
So, dear peers, first of all, nothing will be solved in the Middle East as long as the Palestinian problem is still boiling, as long as the massacre continues in Gaza on a daily basis. By the way, under the cover of the war with Iran, things even get worse there. Dozens of innocent people on a daily basis.
And I applaud him for doing so. I applaud him for going on different places and fighting with people who are Israeli apologists and want to cover it up. And it's really disgusting because the IDF is indistinguishable to me and to many people than the Nazis from Germany. If you have kids, imagine that you're in this situation. Just imagine you are. And don't, let's not go over any kind of morality here, because it's immoral what Israel's doing. They're the most immoral army on the planet right now. And they're doing heinous acts to a civilian population. I think one thing we're missing in our society is thinking of big ideas, or thinking at all. And let me explain myself. Yes, we all think every day, what am I going to do for dinner? When am I going to do this or do that? Where do I have to be here? I mean, we have all that, that's the daily life cycle, right? But do we take time out to really contemplate things? I live right next to a firehouse. Do we really take time out of our day to really contemplate things, and we really don't, not largely. We might read something, we're always looking at our phones, we're always doing something, right? Watching TV, listening to a podcast, reading a book, listening to an audiobook. And I think there's something to be said about just the act of sitting and thinking. You know, maybe you go out into the forest, or you go to your garden, or, you know, go somewhere nice and scenic and just think. Think about these ideas. Think about big ideas, things that are complicated and hard to deal with.